All right. Welcome. What's the episode number is this?
666.
Oh, that's fucking spooky as fuck. Whoa. This is episode 6 of the Irrelevant and Illiterate podcast. I am Oatmeal Tits, and this is Dead Balls across from me. And today we have a guest from the infamous Doylestown band, Rock Bottom, Mr. John Lowe. Thanks for coming to Delaware.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I can't believe you guys don't know what fucking Zoom is, but I drove my ass down here.
See,
Oy vey.
We're not afraid of human contact with other people, and you had nothing else going on today, so I don't want to hear it, you fucking shit piece.
I mean, fair, but I'm still holding it against you guys.
Yo, I got a question right off the bat. Since yesterday was Halloween, do you ever think, like, a little kid went to, like, a house and knocked on the door, said, "Trick or treat, smell my feet," and, like, some pedophile on the other side of the door was just like...
Yeah, probably.
And like, because if he got busted for it, he could say he said smell his feet, you know. So he's kind of like out.
He's asking for it.
He's got a fucking excuse. Did you see the way he was dressed? His little cow costume.
I don't know if you guys had this, that like in my neighborhood growing up, like some people would have the house that you like had to go into for candy. You know
I
what I mean?
hated that.
They set up like a haunted house on the inside.
My uncle did that. He was one neighborhood over.
Okay.
But it was only in like, well, we call it, you know what a mud room is, right? Yeah. It was that and maybe like the beginning of the den. And basically you would have to come in and they had the big bucket of candy you can pick from. And then he would jump out from the closet that was right there, dressed as whatever it was that year, and just go, "Brah!" and just scare the shit out of kids. That's as far as it went as a haunted house.
There was a guy, a house in the neighborhood I used to live in where they would do that in their like living room area, but the dad would just be on the couch watching sports. like while we would like go in and get our candy.
Well, truly neglect is the scariest thing of all.
Like, you go to get your candy, he's just like booing shit.
The opposite of love is not hate; it's indifference.
It's like, could you little twerps keep it down? Papa's got some money riding on this shit.
The boys got to cover the spread.
I can't hear Al Michaels.
If you kids don't keep it down, I'm taking it out on the wife later. Jesus. But I was just thinking about that because no one fucking trick-or-treats in my neighborhood, which is weird. No. They all got together and decided it's this new thing that popped up. Actually, even before COVID, they call it trunk or treat.
Oh.
They go to like either it'll be some years it's like a high school or middle school parking lot or like a church parking lot, and people will line up their cars. Okay. And you pop your trunk, and the kids will go trick or treat from trunk to trunk to trunk. And I was like, well, yeah, I guess it's less molesty and possible kidnapping and disease, but still, it's like, it's not that fun.
Kind of kills the vibe a little.
Yeah.
The kids that didn't do it before don't know, though. They don't know
That's true.
They don't know how sick it was to go from neighborhood to neighborhood.
Oh, dude.
Getting an insane amount of candy.
And like your older sibling or the one older kid you knew who had a car would drive you like all to like different neighborhoods.
By the time I knew people with cars, I wasn't trick-or-treating anymore.
Dude, I was like 12. But my sister had friends that were just dirtbag enough. And they're like, yo, you want to go over to Mendenhall Village, which is like a rich neighborhood around here?
It's over there.
Yeah.
Or that way, yeah.
Yeah. And we would just like, fuck yeah, we do. Not realizing my little fat shit self that the houses in Mendenhall Village were a lot further apart than the ones in my neighborhood. So
yeah, you got to get the king size house. You got to scope it out.
All inclines. Watch me sweat through this fucking Jason Voorhees hockey mask. Like, how do you sweat in a hockey mask? I found a way.
It's from breathing against
fucking disgusting, dude.
Mendenhall Village has like a strip of townhomes in the middle that are all attached, but all the rest are huge.
Yeah.
With huge hills and driveways.
Yeah, it's not like my street where it's like every house is probably 100 feet apart. Is that a dog in your crotch?
Yeah, for sure. There's a Kong just sitting between my legs like a cock. Right
Isn't there always?
Yeah, you know.
I do call it the Kong. It's weird.
The Kong.
Speaking of Halloween, we were handing out candy yesterday, and I witnessed an egging as like a third party for the first time, and it was like very strange. It looked like a 12-year-old girl was doing it. I couldn't tell if it was like a costume or something, but it was just like I could see, like, it was probably like 5 houses down, and I could see the hate in her eyes from there. She's just fucking unloading on our neighbors.
Maybe it really was a costume, and she's just that committed. She's like a method actor. She's like, I'm going out, somebody throws eggs, and I really fucking like throwing eggs.
Yeah, I think my first, like I wanted to go talk to the people in the house, and I'm like, hey, what the fuck am I doing? I'm not going to snitch on some kid for begging. Like, why did that even happen inside of me in the first place?
I would be stoked as fuck.
I did not see it. I am walking away.
I remember one year, this was a little while ago, I was still in my 20s, and someone had just egged the street. And so I was like cleaning it off the bay window in my house, not even fucking mad. I was like, yeah. Kids are still pretty cool.
They got us.
I was like, who fucking cares? Of course, the neighborhood, there's like newsletters going around, like, whoever was throwing eggs. I'm like, you cops. You're all a bunch of fucking cops, dude. So welcome back to the East Coast, John.
Thank you. It's been a year, but thank you.
Yeah, well, we haven't had a podcast for a year.
Yeah, fair, yeah.
Why the fuck did you come back?
You know what? Like, I don't think California's like as cool as people generally think it is. I think that's kind of.
I don't think it's cool at all.
Yeah,
but I've actually never been there, so what the fuck do I know?
Like, it's chill. Living there's cool, but it's expensive. There's this weird effect too, where like there's no seasons, so like time just flies by like super fast. I feel like I left like yesterday, and this past year has been like I'm back to the old like East Coast like grind. Like, it just feels better. It feels more right.
He's back.
Damn, I don't know if I were to come back. I don't think I'd come back to the exact same place I left.
I literally live a block from my old house. Like, that's how close I moved back.
Do you still have shit there? You just go and pick it up whenever you want. So you mind if I keep this drawer here? Jesus Christ. Fuck, dude. So, what the fuck? Oh, I had something. I'm old. My brain doesn't work.
No, you're fine. I have 2 callbacks for your podcast.
Okay.
If you want. 2 things. Number 1, I ran into somebody who is the only person I've heard who is anti-vasectomy. I can't call them out in person.
What are their reasons?
Quote, he says that his balls hurt randomly every once in a while, and sometimes he just goes into his bathroom and cries. So
he had one.
Yeah, correct.
Oh.
Well, I'd give that dude leeway.
Yeah.
It is a dude, right? It's not a girl with balls?
Correct.
Okay. I give that dude leeway because like he's like a quote-unquote survivor of a vasectomy. Like if it was like someone that, you know what I mean? Like if it's someone like me who the closest thing he's had is an ingrown hair on his ball, like you're like, shut the fuck up, dude. But if he's someone who actually had a vasectomy, I'm like, all right, dude, your experience sucked. You're the 1 out of 100. All right, fair enough.
God, that's
I kind of let that slide.
Yeah, so like I've heard like unilaterally positive things. I listened to your episode and I was like, man, I'm gonna go get snipped fucking tomorrow.
It's not like he's one of those like, you gotta spread your seed, dude. He's like, nah, dude, my balls hurt.
I can't give more information without giving it out to like your tens of listeners. Who it is. But,
his fucking doctor's probably Italian. It's probably the problem. What?
But like, I don't know if you've caught yourself just crying in the bathroom randomly, but I certainly hope not.
Yeah, but I've never had
yet.
a vasectomy.
Not yet.
Yes, but I've never had my balls touched. That's probably why I cry a lot. You know,
The lack of contact.
lack of tactile contact with my fucking giggly bits.
The neglect, rather.
Jeez. I saw a picture of Tom's bag after he had his surgery. It looked really. Guy did a good job.
It was real neat.
It was a nice little coin purse. I liked it.
Okay.
What was the other callback, dude?
So probably like a month ago, I rode a motorcycle for the first time in my life.
How was that?
It's kind of a brag, but I kind of thought it was shitty, to be honest with you. Like,
man.
I always like built it up as like the fucking white trash dream, like Eastbound and Down style, just like riding around flinging people off and like smoking cigarettes and shit. But like, it was like totally not fun at all. Like, I guess like I have like shitty wrists from playing guitars, and I'm just like fucking shaking around on, and it's hurting. My nutsack's just slapping up and down on the seat.
Yeah, because you're wearing a bathing suit. There's no support in those fucking things.
It even had the little underpants in it.
The little nut net?
Yeah. Didn't help at all.
Those are the most pointless thing in the world is the bathing suit nut net. Like, what is it really helping? Like, I'm not even well endowed, and those things didn't even support me at all.
It's like they're made with razor wire on the sides.
Oh,
just
dude,
to cheapen
that too.
the undersides.
Did you ever get a half chub while wearing a bathing suit? And like your dick's like trying to sneak through one of the holes in the mesh. You're just like, owie, owie. And it's even more depressing when it does get through. Fuck me.
Well, especially at the beach, those things are great for holding in sand.
That's why I don't go to the beach, dude.
It's like just enough net to keep the sand in. Like if they widened it a tiny bit, it would just fall right out. But
I would be 100% a beach person if sand didn't exist. It is seriously the worst fucking thing ever.
You know what they should do to the beach? They should just pave it.
I agree.
that's a rough take.
Then we could park there.
Like there's some places in New England that like actually kind of have a somewhat better idea where it's just rocks. I would rather walk across rocks and hurt my feet than have to dig sand out of all my fat crevices for like a solid month, no matter how many fucking showers I took.
It does get all in your car, too.
It's fucking disgusting.
Stinks.
I guess theoretically a rock castle would be structurally superior to a sand castle as well.
Yeah,
There's
see?
other
It's just
things,
more structurally sound.
Yeah.
So
People build castles out of rocks, dude.
So if fucking Hurricane Sandy comes back through, you got your rock fortress now.
As if.
Yeah. I wish it would come back.
I don't know, dude. Fucking English people have rocks on their beach, though, and they're pretty miserable, so I don't know.
So Hurricane Sandy hit the East Coast, and Sandy Hook's on the East Coast. Think there's anything there?
You gonna write a song about that, too?
Dude,
The next one?
Dude, should I tell him, dude, should I tell him about my dream journal fucking what I came across the other day? I woke up in the middle of the night. Shut up,
Oh,
Al.
yeah?
I woke up in the middle of the night the other night, and I just, like, if something stupid comes into my head, I'll write it down. And I wrote it down. It was, this is old hat for whoever's already listened to this stupid show before. Oh, it was, it just said Mary Kate Olsen, MK Olsen, MK Ultra.
I heard about this last time, and I was also, while I was listening, I was like, what about Ashley? And then not Ashley, what's the Scarlet Witch one?
Fuck.
She's like probably
Elizabeth.
She's probably like the most famous
Yeah.
one, and for some reason we're just all old and we just remember Mary. Kate
Is she,
and Ashley.
though?
I just said Ashley is a clone.
There's no way she's more famous than the two.
I don't think twins actually exist. One is just a clone of the other.
I don't know, man. I've seen efforts made a lot of times. I'm just saying.
Yeah, are you sure? It's just one of them, and then like the parents are like, "Yeah, this one's kind of a dud. Let's try a clone." And then,
Oh my god,
are those kids still alive?
I think I saw them somewhat recently, but I forget where. I don't
All
know
I
what the
keep
context
thinking of
was.
is the poop fork story.
Oh my god, that's a fucking centrifuge legend right there.
Oh my god! You ever heard the poop fork story?
No, I thought you were going to ask me if I knew what centrifuge was.
Yeah, no, I'm never going to bring up centrifuge again ever.
Sorry, I apologize for that,
There's a
actually.
story about them on a internet message board about how they fucking take dumps so big you had to break it apart with a fork before flushing.
That's not news to anybody.
Yeah, but
I know what those are.
I dropped some fucking chair legs out of my asshole, and they all go down quite smoothly.
Like, I think the funniest thing about the rumor to me was that it was like a specific poop knife or poop fork that they had. Like,
Well,
it
you
was
don't
in a
put-
holster on the side of the toilet.
You
like,
don't want
ready
to
to
fucking
go.
throw it back into rotation.
Yeah,
you
for
know?
sure. But just like imagine the placement in the bathroom. There's just like a fucking steak knife in there. For
Like,
no
you know,
reason.
you're just like, someone's over your house. He's like, "Oh, can you hand me that knife?" No, not that. No, not that. No.
Please, not that one.
Not that one. It's like, why is there a skull and crossbones like on this one? Like, what's that about? Like,
I put Mr. Yuck on all my silverware. It's fine.
I just thought it was funny because those kids were so small. It's like kids that small were just making fucking dinosaur legs and just. That's fucking great.
I have heard that story. I don't remember who told it, though.
You probably never even met those kids, did you? Isn't that fucking great? How you can be so unimportant that a story about your poop in a fork just fucking outlives you. Like,
Yeah.
like what were their names? And no one cares.
No.
But we know that they're both turds.
I know the fork existed.
Oh, Jesus.
I hope that remains like a legendary hardcore story, like fucking 20
I
years in
hope
the future. You know what I mean?
I hope that
It's just-
fork gets bronzed and passed down through the family.
It's in preserving hardcore in
Like,
Pittsburgh. I'm pretty
like
sure.
your grandparents are having a thing like where they would like my grandparents like they both had their baby spoons bronzed and was handed down through the family, just like a little spoon, bronzed, thing. So I'm wondering if like these kids, when they have eventually grandkids come along, there's just going to be this bronzed bent tine fork that just smells like fucking old soil. Oh, it's so good.
Since I know my mom's never gonna listen to this, like I fucking hate like hand-me-downs unless they're like useful things. Like that.
absolutely.
I'm
Like-
with you 100%.
Like the things that go down, like I have like a set of silverware my mom gave me at her wedding, and it was like super important for her to give to me, and I'm like, I
You accept-
graciously
Yeah.
accepted it,
you accept it in the moment.
and now it's just this albatross that I fucking lug around with me everywhere I go. It's like heavy as fuck. It's like we've moved like 7 times since we got that shit.
And every move, it's coming to.
I got a set. It was like the old china that my great aunt had, and it got passed down to me because everybody else is dead. And I was just like, I was given it to me in a box. I put the box in the basement and never touched it again. And every time certain people come over to my house, they're like, "Well, where's the plates at?" I'm like, "Oh, it's down in the basement next to some shit." Like, "Well, why isn't it in your cupboard?" I was like, "Because I don't really need that many plates, and I'm not going to use ones with gold oil trim on it." It's like, I'm perfectly fine with a paper plate. Fucking the environment. I just don't. Yeah, I don't need this shit. I don't,
Paper burns, too.
Yeah.
Do you have a regular plate burning? Like,
yeah, obviously.
Okay.
I mean, fucking Tom's mom has one of her seances, and we fucking burn Dixie plates, and we fucking summon. We summon, dude.
With Elizabeth Olsen.
With Elizabeth Olsen.
That's the correct one.
Who showed Full Bush in fucking Old Boy remake. It was fucking tight. So yeah, so twins don't exist. So I'm pretty sure, like, Year of the Knife, they have those two twins in the band. I think if anybody ever quits that band, they'll just clone it again. And they go home, and there's like this like storage unit full of us. There's like 16, 17 of them in there just waiting. It's like, all right, unit 004, you're up, you know.
It must be. It's no wonder it's so easy for them to kick people out of the band. They just clone people.
They have like a little hookup, like a little USB hook on the back of his head, and it's like it's feeding them how to play guitar, how to play drums.
Love you, Brandon.
And just like, oh, it's fucking great.
Fun story about Year of the Knife. They are named after the Efforts Made poop knife, actually. Did you know that?
Oh, God damn it.
Oy vey.
Oh, God damn it. Is it too late to ask Martello to come? On that fucking note.
No, you talked shit on horror movies last week, and
I don't hate horror movies.
I'm just saying, if you talk shit on Evil Dead, you can't invite Martello. It's like
why do you think I am going to invite him? I don't want a fucking whole podcast of people with like the same opinions as me. It's fucking boring. Like, dude, I plan to bring John Wren on here. He fucking gave me an earful every time I bring that stupid trilogy up.
Yes,
and I don't even hate it that much, but knowing that I get a rise out of like those three people, like him and like some other randos, it makes me want to just talk about it more.
It just surprised me. How do you feel about like Child's Play or like other similar like goofy series? Is that just kind of out of question for you?
I'll take it to you like from Nightmare on Elm Street. Nightmare on Elm Street, maybe like the first three. What was Dream Warriors? What number was that?
4.
3? Was it 3?
It was 4.
It was
It's
4?
definitely 3, 100%.
3?
Yeah, Google it. That's fine.
After that one is when Freddy became less horror, the more like some dude like whackety schmackety dackety. You know, they started like having to have a quip every single fucking line. It's like, it's okay to have it every once in a while, you know, but when it's like, all right, he's got to like kvetch after each fucking kill.
Fuck, it was Dream Masters number 4.
You dumb
my bad.
son of a bitch.
It is Dream Warriors.
Dude, I like Docking way too much to not know that that's the third movie.
Yo, I actually fucking have that soundtrack just because of We're the Dream Warriors. Don't want to dream no more.
That's so sick. There's definitely a couple of songs off Tooth and Nail on there too, like separately. It's so good.
But yeah, like when it becomes more about the lines, like the fucking one-liners, than the actual horror aspect of it, I tap out.
It's too silly.
But I love like the first 3. They're fucking great. But yeah, Evil Dead, like the first one, I enjoyed it actually. Though I still think the effects look like a Peter Gabriel video, which is dating, showing how old I am.
I mean, I've seen Sledgehammer. I know what you're saying.
Yeah, it's exactly what I'm fucking talking about. Exactly. And then like 2 was just like even more of that. Like, all right, whatever. Then 3, I'm like, all right, this is fucking dumb.
I love that shit. I love camp. I just love corny shit.
I don't love camp. Like, but there's some camp movies I've made exceptions for because if they're just that good, sometimes you can't deny it. And sorry, just Evil Dead doesn't do. I don't like Evil Dead, but I don't hate it. I just bitch about it a lot because I know it makes some friends of mine upset, and that's funny to me. Like, okay. I'm like, well, how did you get that? Like, and I hate the whole, how are you a horror fan but hate Evil Dead? That's like a dumbest argument in the world. It's like you can be a fan of something and not like everything to come out in the genre.
He barks at cars that drive by.
That's cool.
And then he comes back like, I did good, right? I did good.
Damn right you did, dude.
You don't even understand. Animals just love me. I just have this effect on them.
Oh, that's why I asked you. Oh,
I'm like Snow White, man.
So let's talk about your shitty band. I'm not talking about Rock Bottom, no.
The one I'm in with you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Come on. According to my notes, we're in a band together, so I want you to give me 21 reasons why that's enriched your life.
It has not.
All right, fair enough. Go. So, Speedway.
Yeah.
What the fuck's up with that stupid-ass name?
It was supposed to be a complete Fast and Furious, like, fanfic record. Like, it was supposed to be a concept album.
All right, you won me over.
Halfway through working on it, Dion's like, yo, I have this song called Soup of the Witch. And I'm like, all right.
That was a spot on Dion, too, by the way.
Okay, I spent way too much time with him.
He's been around him a long time.
Dude will say eats Newports.
He sounds like it, too.
Dude, just fucking the Italian Kathleen Turner voice.
Yeah, like, the man's like a genius in a way, but he's also like, you know, like goes from idea to idea. So I'm like sold on this fucking Fast and Furious idea. I'm like so into it. I love those fucking movies. I mean, if you're like anti-camp, then you're probably that too.
I've actually never seen one of those movies, so I can't speak on it. But I'm pretty sure they're stupid.
I get this feeling that you just hate fun, but that's fine.
That's a pretty accurate. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie.
But yeah, like I guess that's where the name came from.
So why did he? So he ruined it.
Like did he? I mean, that's like
he ruined the feng shui of the fucking record.
Yeah, but at the same time, now there's songs on there about like dinosaurs and fucking other shit. So like we definitely diversified at that point.
We were speaking about this before we started, that you guys don't take yourselves too seriously, but you don't tread the territory of a joke band. You know what I mean? Like it's like shit, like this motherfucker really singing about dinosaurs, but you're like never like, oh, these guys are just a fucking joke. You know, no one ever like goes that far with you guys. Like, has Dion ever come to you with like a sheet of lyrics and be like, yo, what do you think? And you're just like, yo, go to your room. You know, like, nah, this ain't fucking happening. We're not singing singing a song like this on a record I put out.
Sorry, it's funny that you mentioned that because it's not actually Dion. It's actually Chris that we have this with for this specific record.
It's always the fucking long hair.
Like when we got pretty close to recording, like Dion wanted some extra ideas, so like me and Chris wrote some shit for the record too, and like he left one song for Chris in particular, and Chris came up with this idea about, it was basically about fucking aliens. That was like the entire song.
What is he, Rob Zombie?
Yeah, I mean, it's not far off.
I mean, it's not a bad idea either.
Yeah, but it was like, it was a little too far. I'm not gonna lie. I wish I had some examples of the lyrics ready for me. If I knew that we were going in this directions, I would have brought them.
Yo, Evans, hit me up, dude. I want to see this shit. Hopefully he fucking kept those papers.
Yeah, if you guys can post them on the Instagram or something.
God damn it.
Some classic shit.
But yeah, like you guys seem to tread a line to where you don't take yourselves seriously, but you take it seriously enough that no one thinks your band is a joke. Is that a hard line to fucking straddle?
I think it's probably pretty easy for us, to be honest with you. Like,
is that just your personality types?
Yeah, we're all a bunch of fucking idiots. And like, not only that, but if we were like, took the typical hardcore band route and we were like talking about like brotherhood and family. And,
we don't need any more of that.
Well, like not only that, but it's like so disingenuous for us. Like we're a bunch of assholes, and B, like we're from Doylestown, dude. Like why would we pretend that we're anything that we're not, other than just that we're a bunch of fucking suburban kids making stupid thrash metal songs. So.
And you would have fallen by the wayside a long time ago. Yeah, I think
that's true.
Well, that happened anyway, but like, but it is what it is.
But you're back now.
I want to get into that. Is like what led to, because you guys were gone for a couple years, about 5-6 years, right?
Something like that.
What led to that, and what led to coming back?
I mean, just like any close friendship, like we love each other and we fucking hate each other.
Exactly.
That's just kind of the vibe, you know what I mean? So things are cyclical. We get sick of each other sometimes, and then we all miss each other, and we get back together and we do it again. So, like, the whole reason we do it is like we're like legitimately friends. It's not like a fucking, if it was a business arrangement, it would be a really poor one. So it's not like that at all. It's just we want to hang out and talk shit. You know what I mean? Like literally, like Martello is like my best friend in the world. Like the more time I can spend with that dude, the better.
Yeah, so, he's a sweetheart.
Yeah. That is the best part of band practice, is hanging out.
Yeah, especially if it's like it's the only time a week you really see them.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah.
When I was in Drowse, and my favorite day of the week was driving up to Philly to practice, because we would just fucking hang for hours.
That's what Iron Price practice never worked, because we all lived in different states. So when we would get together, it would just be goofball time, and we wouldn't get nothing fucking done.
What, did you practice like once a week?
No.
Once every 2 weeks? Once a month?
The Maryland guys did. Marty and I just came in before a bunch of shows or before a recording session.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Me and him did it at home, and like I would send everybody lyrics. I wrote the songs and shit, and he would send like stuff to Matt. But we were rarely. I think total the years of the band, we were in a room together maybe 6-7 times as a practice. Mm-hmm. So but yeah. So who was the most annoying bandmate that led to the first breakup? Or to the break? The hiatus, however you want to put it.
I would say that we were pretty universally over it. That was like this is hardcore that we played our last show at. And like I think that we just kind of felt that we were like, I think at the time like we kind of, not that I cared about being successful, but you know what I mean? Like, you do okay for a little bit. Like, you start thinking about your bands in, like, fucking stupid terms that, you know, like, I look back and it's, like, embarrassing to think about it that way.
No, we've all done it.
But I think we were at a point where we're like, we're never going to have another thing that's like Crossroads or whatever.
Right.
It's just kind of like, why are we doing this?
It's just run its course.
Yeah.
Well, as a fan / outsider of the band dynamic, if you will, it seemed like, well, when I would just talk to Jordan about it, he'd be like, it seemed like he was always just over it. He's like, yeah, I guess I'm.
That's also like, his attitude.
About
that's
things.
That normally is how he is.
Yeah, to be fair, that's the wrong person to talk to about that.
Like, he could be completely, like, 100% in love with being in a band.
Well, he's a notorious curmudgeon.
Oh, it's whatever, dude. You know, but, like, secretly deep down, he's loving what he's doing. And
yeah, I watch him.
If I want a serious fucking answer out of it, I'll just hit up this dum-dum right here. And he always normally like, well, I'm tired of looking at each other.
Yeah,
but sometimes it just ran its course. But then you're always like, oh, if we start something new, is it just going to be this under a different name? So why just break up at all? Just put it on hold for a while, or
yeah, and doing like the whole like members of shit is like kind of corny. You know?
Yeah,
what I mean?
I never liked doing that.
I mean, I used to be into that, and like that's like one of those things you just open your eyes to one day, and you're like, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah, because you want the new thing to be able to stand on its own feet.
Yeah.
You're like, you have agency too. Like, you're a human.
Yeah.
You don't have to be connected to a band that you did once.
Yeah, especially if like the two bands, the one you used to be and the one you currently in, are nothing alike. Yeah. It's like I've been in an indie rock band. We're ex-members of Hatebreed. It's like, well, so what? Doesn't make me want to come see you fucking cry about your girl. Like, shut up. But
I feel like I'm giving serious answers to these questions on the comedy podcast.
So what brought it back? Like, what made you guys decide to dust your dicks off and fucking start doing it again?
Well, actually, we started doing the podcast over COVID, and that was like
that was one of the funnest podcasts I've ever been a part of.
I think we're still gonna do it. Like,
you fucking should. Know. That shit was fun.
I listened to every episode of
it. It was so fucking dumb in a fun way.
So silly.
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah, I think that kind of like, even just listening back to it, it's like clearly like we are like old fucking friends. You know what I mean?
Those are the best dynamics. The best things to listen to.
I think you guys, if you guys would do that podcast in a room together, it would be 30 times better than over Zoom, but it would still be good. You know what I mean?
One of my favorite things about doing it over Zoom, though, on the other side, like I love how you guys like post videos of your shit.
Yeah.
And I always tried to edit them together, but every time like Jordan set up his phone like on like a coffee table, so it was just aimed directly at his bird the entire time. And that motherfucker doesn't own real pants anymore. He only has like Sinbad pants and sweatpants and shit.
Like cut off jeans.
Yeah. So there's just like you could just see like both imprints of a ball sack like cleavage.
He needs one of those things.
I know. Yeah. We need the angle and stuff correct. But
I remember I did your podcast and I couldn't figure out how to work the fucking camera, so I didn't even like have one.
Yep.
That was fucking ridiculous.
There's been other ones where like we had Aaron on and he was using the camera, but he was just wandering around his house smoking weed the entire time. So
but
it's like
that's on brand for him. And would you want it any different?
No, absolutely not. And he also just like fucking yelled at Jordan during that episode. It's probably the funniest thing.
He yells at people.
It was the funniest episode.
I don't think I've ever seen that dude with like. I don't think I've ever seen Aaron angry.
I have.
Well, you can listen to that episode and hear it.
Oh god! Well, if anybody's gonna bring the anger out of a fucking hippie like that, dude, it's gonna be Jordan.
Yeah. I had to edit Aaron's address out of it because he just kept saying it like 5 times. Like I don't even know why. Yo, you live down on fucking, blah blah blah. I don't want to say it.
It's like the weirdest nervous tick ever. It's like. Yeah, and like I was just hanging out with my friends, and my social security number is 22. Like, yo, hey, calm down, man. Take it easy, all right?
He wanted him to come meet up.
Yo, my ATM, like shit, dude. That dude's fucking
my
silly.
PIN number.
He's a silly boy.
Yeah, I love them honestly. I was supposed to go to the mountains with them last week, and I did not, and I'm sad now. That's like not a really podcast.
I think if I ever were to finally get my hands on like mushrooms or psychedelics, I would want to do it with him in mountains. Okay. But then I remember I'd have to climb the mountains to get there. Then I'm like, nah, I'll stick to like my own house by myself, all lonely and shit.
Really, life is a mountain on its own,
Damn, dog.
Yeah.
Damn, you philosophical as a motherfucker.
Think about that.
So you started doing the podcast, which you really should bring back, just because it was so silly. It was fucking just a fun listen, and I don't like listening to my friends' podcasts because if it stinks, I don't like lying to them and saying, "Oh, your podcast is good," and secretly just being lying out my ass. Yeah. So I just won't listen to most of them. But I listen to your guys on a regular basis. Mm-hmm. because honestly, I just like hearing you fucking dummies talk.
It was funny watching you guys like pick random days of the week to put it out on too.
That's great.
For a little while, it was Mondays.
So on brand though.
Then it was like a Tuesday, and then it was Fridays. I'm like, man, when's it gonna be next?
You could make a drinking game out of your guys' pod. It was fucking like take a shot every time fucking John Martello gets into a fucking movie rant. Well, the cinematography, you're like, oh, here's one.
Oh man!
And then somebody would just call him a fruit, and then all of a sudden you're just like, all right. And you start backing on it again. Well, his directorial debut was like, all right. 30 minutes in, you're just fucking done. So you started back doing the podcast, and who brought up the idea? It's like, yo, let's just do a fucking show. Or was it a show first or record first?
It was the record first. I think, like, I figured out that we, like, started planning moving back, like, probably, like, a few months after we did the podcast. Like, Kate and I really put, like, the, I don't know, whatever metaphor you want to use for getting started moving back. And at that point, we're just like, I don't know, like, I have these songs written. A lot of them I wrote for, like, goofy internet shred videos and stuff like that. That's why they all sound like power metal songs with the thing over top of them for some reason.
Fucking Yingling over here.
But, like, halfway through, I was like, this would actually be pretty sick if Dion sang over it. And, like, we're hanging out all the time, like, virtually. Like, why not, like, you know, actually try to do it for real? That's pretty much it.
So what you're saying is you were too fucking lazy to look into other singers, drummers, bass players. So you're just like, I know these assholes got nothing going on.
To be fair, like initially, like Chris wasn't involved until we actually started recording, basically. So like, I didn't really know who was going to be into it or not, or if anybody would want to do it at all. It was more just like I wanted to ask them first because, like, you know, they're the homies. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, like, you always want to go with people you know you can gel with musically.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like, because like one of the things is weird about starting new bands is like getting on the same wavelength as a new person. So if the person's already your friend, you're already going in 5 steps up. So if it's these dudes you've known since, you know, high school, middle school, or whatever, you know, you're good to go.
Yeah.
Whereas all new people, it's kind of dreadful, and normally it doesn't work out.
Trying to start a band after moving to a different place is like the worst. It sucks so bad. Like, I got lucky and met a couple of cool people in LA and did some cool jams, but you'll notice that, like, definitely didn't put out any music while I was out there because it's, like, hard to get together with people. Everybody works weird schedules. You got to rent, like, some fucking expensive-ass practice space. Like, half the people you play with are just some bums anyway that are just like, yeah, man, I fucking play drums.
I remember
like that, so. You
were still doing Tent on Hammer and Raw Force, and you actually had, like, a separate Raw Force lineup for West Coast.
We literally, that's overstating it. We had the drummer from Entry, Chris, play drums for us for one show out there.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. But
is that still a thing?
I think that we would like it to be, but I think we're probably going to change the name because there's like 18 bands with the word Raw in it now.
Yeah, and Force.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. It was a pretty terrible name. Band was good, though.
It's like a movie or something. It's clearly a Martello name, so yeah,
don't let him name shit anymore. Just don't do it.
Yeah, there's that.
Just don't do it, dude. Because there's certain people you shouldn't let name bands, like Rich Strome, for instance. he will send you a full fucking list of these band names, and they're like the fucking worst. Every band that we've started or have started together, Sacrificial Knife has been on the list, and I keep saying fucking no to it, and he keeps putting it on the list. So one day there's going to be a Sacrificial Knife and like Cryo Prison. I'm like, what is fucking wrong with you? It's like, I love you, and you're an outlaw, but dude, no, I'm not doing it.
I'm like recording a new metal record for him right now, and
I know, and I hate it.
The files all have different names on them. I know one of them is definitely Project Parasite, which that's a fucking sick name, dude. I'm not gonna lie.
Sounds like an old Dreamcast game, like an on rails light gun shooter. Project Parasite. The parasites have escaped the lab.
bargain bin Genesis game.
Yeah.
Dude, can we talk about Dreamcast for a second? Like the most fucking phenomenal failure of a system where they didn't figure out that you can just fucking burn CDs and put it inside of it.
It was crazy because you had like this sweet glory days of like burnt games where you didn't have to pay for them. But there was so few fucking good games for Dreamcast. So you're kind of like, oh man.
But if you bought the system, you literally had all of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just that.
You just had to have that one friend with a fucking cable modem at the time, and you're fucking set, dude.
Man, that's cool. I never had Dreamcast.
Yeah, you just had to put a game. If you ever find a vintage one, all you got to do is just put a game in and boot it, and then you take the game out and put the burnt CD in, and it works 100%.
Yeah.
You're playing Dynamite Cop in a second, baby.
Wasn't Dino Crisis on that shit too?
For sure. The best thing about Dreamcast is definitely the beat 'em ups. And they were always like, Sega's just like really good.
Wasn't the last good Streets of Rage on fucking Dreamcast? I think it was 3.
Probably. There was specifically Dynamite Cop, and there was like a zombie one too, where you just like walk around and hit zombies with chairs and shit.
As you would.
Yeah. It basically felt like the Simpsons arcade game, but like over the top Sega Japanese style. It was crazy.
Can we talk about the death of the greatest thing ever, which is the light gun?
True.
Dude.
Yeah, I don't really know why that didn't. I guess VR probably killed it, right? But
I blame the Wiimote, but you know. Oh, Tom, are we boring you?
No, don't mind me. I have to fucking do something.
Oh, so
I did always wonder how you talked Tom into doing this podcast.
He talked me into doing it.
Like, what do you have on Tom? Like, what is it?
He talked me into it. I was seriously thinking of going and doing open mic stand up, right?
Which you should still do, by the way.
Yeah, but where? We have one club in Delaware.
Yeah, there's the Laugh House.
Yeah, and there's never like an open mic night.
Yeah, there is.
Well, fuck me then. I have no excuse.
Go to their websites.
But Tom was just like, yo, I have a big ass dick. Do you want to do a fucking podcast, dude? And I was just like, I don't really have a reason to say no. You know, I don't have anything else going on. My life is pretty empty and terrible, you know? I only had one band at the time, so I was like, fuck it.
It came about because we're both silly geese on the internet.
Yeah.
And we would reply to each other's shit, and then I was like, we should start a podcast or something.
Yeah.
And he was like, okay.
And then he got freaked out when I came to the first pod taping, and I had a fucking sweet-ass notebook full of shit.
I was like,
down.
look at this guy.
Full of literal gibberish.
Dude, I had it's bits that I was going to use for the open mic shit.
I did an open mic one time, and I made one joke and stopped. Do you want to hear the joke?
Yes, I do.
Sure do.
Yeah, I was, there was baseball. I didn't, like, prepare anything. My friend Ryan Crawford does stand-up. He lives in L.A. That's the backstory. He, like, dragged me out to this.
Quit bragging.
Yes.
I mean, like,
All right,
have you heard of him or something?
All right,
Like,
Hollywood.
But this was when I was in Philly. He's, like, a friend from Doylestown, so not like that. But he, like, dragged me out to one of these to try it, because I guess every once in a while I make a funny joke or something. And there was baseball on in the background, and I was like, baseball is, like, kind of like eating mushrooms, like eating too many mushrooms. Like, at first you watch it and you're really into it and it's really fun. And then, like, fucking a couple hours later, it's like, God, make this fucking stop. Baseball is the most boring fucking sport.
It's a pretty solid fucking joke, actually. And I fucking hard agree on it, because I was like, dude, this is the dumbest shit. Like, why? My mom I hate sports, but my mom loves baseball. And she'll be like, sometimes she's like, yeah, I was up till like 2 a.m. I'm like, why the fuck were you up at 2 a.m?
Yeah,
she's like,
Phil's winning
into
overtime.
13 innings. I'm like, what? Put a time limit on this shit. Fucking dumbass shit with their big juicy butts and those tight ass pants. So, back to your other failures.
Let's go.
Tense on Hammer was a great band. I enjoyed them thoroughly.
Yeah.
And I figured when you came back east, that would start up again, and you did one show and broke up.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't really know if I have a great reason for that, to be honest with you. I don't know. Just kind of like shit didn't really work out. I don't know, man.
What does that mean?
Yeah, seriously.
I think like collectively we were all more indifferent about it than I thought when we got back. Like it seemed like we all wanted to get together and we jammed a few times, but like Jack was in the band at the time and he's like in Bandit and doing like moving and doing a million things, and like those Jeff and Jordan are in like other bands together too.
Like
so
too many.
Yeah, exactly. And then like all the songs are about like being depressed and wanting to fucking kill yourself and shit like that. And I'm not really like in that space now. You know, I'm trying to be a silly goose too. I'm trying to join the fucking flock or whatever.
Fucking hippie.
So like I don't know. It was like not an easy thing to do, and like I think I'm like done reflecting on past experiences in that kind of light.
You don't
like
think...
I'm giving way too serious answers.
No, it's fine. No, it's fine. It's fine. But you don't think you could have taken those songs in that band and just did like a tonal shift lyrically? No?
Like, imagine listening to Alice in Chains and the songs are, like, all, like, fucking super happy.
Oh, and, like, Lane Staley wasn't on heroin anymore?
Right, like...
I mean, that's why I do heroin. I want my shit to be meaningful. Oh.
Like, that kind of vibe shift just, like, doesn't work. I don't know.
I get it. I mean?
So
Or like Neglect put out a Turnstile record after that. You know what I mean? Like
It'd be like trying to write a new Crosscheck record.
There you go.
I would love seeing Neglect in a Taco Bell commercial though. That would be fucking dope as fuck. It's like, is this guy singing about fucking hanging himself while I'm enjoying this Baja Blast? Like, all right.
Hanging himself with a chain of
Fuck
chalupas.
yeah, dude. Oh, fuck. What the hell did I have to say?
Is it in that book?
Oh, shit. I gotta get to my
You could open it.
I could open the fucking magic notebook. What do I got in here this week, dude?
I'm going to tell you what I can decipher from there when I see it. I thought I saw evil tits in there.
Oh, that's a segment we have, dude.
Okay.
We don't have one this week.
I unfortunately don't have an entry for Evil Tits this week.
But we have a new fucking segment.
I saw the movie Barbarian, if that's what you guys are.
I saw that.
There's some evil titties in that movie.
Is there
sure.
Conan in it?
No, unfortunately not.
There's some awfully evil titties in that movie.
That's the only thing I can tell you without spoilers.
I haven't... Dude, I'm so fucking far behind on movies. It's ridiculous. And there's so many I want to see. Like, the chief movie I want to see most of all is this movie that's probably be the greatest movie that ever happened. And I was curious if you've got a chance to go out to the theater and see it yet, if you're not too busy being spooky. Have you seen La La Crocodile yet?
I knew it was coming. No, it's not really my genre. I respect crocodiles.
Is it out?
Is it out?
It's the number one movie in America.
What kind of question is that? Lyle Crocodile is the only LLC I'll ever care about.
Is that written down in the book right there?
No.
Oh, okay. Fuck.
No, actually, some of this stupidity comes off. I actually have this, though. This is a new segment we're working on because you're our first guest. We actually had another guest planned last week, but his name's Garrett Jansen. You ever heard of the kid?
Yeah, I love Garrett.
Yeah, I don't. He decided to ditch out on us to go hang out with his family. You know, and I'm like, yo, dude, you have a bowl cut. There's no way in hell you have a family with a post 9/11 bowl cut.
He wasn't on his phone that day because he was on a hike.
He should take a hike.
Yeah, with
He
that.
should go fucking piss a lake and take a swim. This is a new segment only for guests. It's called Gripping Inquiries.
Okay.
All right, these are a series of questions that are specifically catered to you. There's 11 of them. I want you to give honest answers, as we can tell when you're fucking fibbing, dude.
That's fine.
We know.
I'm an honest man. I'm an open book.
Question number 1 for John Lowe. Number 1. What's that about?
None of your fucking business.
Correct answer. This is actually goes back. Actually, this is unintentional, but it goes back to what we were talking about earlier. Question number 2. Have you ever suggested a band name that was so stupid it made people stop loving you?
I'm trying to think of like a really bad one that I thought up of, but I don't know.
Okay, you're a dud of a guest.
The first band that we did was called Mortalis, and I think I came up with that name, and it's pretty fucking bad. So we'll go.
Was it a
that.
power metal band?
It was not. No, it was
Okay, then
just a bad band, basically.
Okay, first question correct. Second question absolutely wrong. Why do you think the Earth is flat?
Because that's how God made it.
That is the correct answer.
Yep.
All right, check mark there. All right. Question number 4.
Praise Jah.
Praise Jah, dude, and Allah at the same time. Question number 4. Are you Asian?
No.
Why not?
I'm from Maryland.
Fair enough. Check mark. What part of Maryland?
My parents are.
I thought you're from Destroylestown.
Both my parents grew up in Severna Park. So.
That's disgusting.
Yep.
All right. Who has the longest butt crack in rock bottom?
So the most apparent butt crack is Martello's.
That's because he's fat like me. Our butt cracks are out.
Okay, yeah, but he has like no ass in this weird way. Like
yeah, same here. It's the only place I'm not fat.
It's extremely flat, and his pants tend to droop down. So like, he has the most apparent one. So I'm going to answer him just because I've seen it the most times.
That makes it. It's actually because like there's only 3 things on me that aren't huge: my dick, my ass, and I have 0 hips.
Okay.
Which for a fat guy is a stupid look. All right. John Martello was the correct answer. I would have also accepted Dion.
Okay.
What is your favorite Cunt Hunt 777 song?
I don't know. Whatever fucking song John Bowe showed me on his computer. That's definitely my introduction to that band. So
No Gods, No Masters. Correct answer. All right.
Mine is Ventile.
No, that's such a fucking basic bitch answer, dude. No Gods, No Masters is the fucking real track, dude. Is it true that your top porn search is, quote, naked, unquote?
Correct.
All right. That's the correct answer. All right.
Listen, I'm a simple man. Yes. I know what I like.
Yeah. Question number 8, dude. This is a tough one. How angry were you when green Skittles changed from lime to apple?
Wait, green Skittles changed from lime to apple?
Yeah, they changed back.
Don't tell me this is news.
It's total news to me.
Oh, man.
Oh, my
I definitely,
God.
you don't know how I eat Skittles is I just take a fucking handful of them and shove them in my mouth and suck on them.
As you fucking should. Now imagine somebody changed the mix.
I'm so sorry to break that to you.
Oh, dude.
So, just to go on a tangent, I used to work in a movie theater when I was younger, and we would make this thing called Taste the Rainbow, where you take both flavors of slushy.
I'm listening.
And you mix it together with the Sprite syrup. You got to put it on the side so just the syrup shoots in there. And it is the most delicious thing I've ever drank in my entire life. I also have no molars in the back because of that. So.
Huh.
Yeah.
So the answer to the question was very angry, but you didn't know about it. But it's all right. You know, the changing it to apple, that was like my Pizzagate. You know, it's a really bad thing. Number 9, what's your favorite Burzum song?
None. Burzum fucking sucks.
That's the correct answer. All right. Question number 10.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to go even farther. Black metal in general fucking sucks.
That is actually a double correct answer, which cancels out the wrong answer you got when you ever suggested a band name that made people stop loving you. Number 10. Have you ever had fun till the sun came up on the Santa Monica Boulevard?
No.
Okay, that is correct. You haven't. All right.
I do love Sheryl Crow, though. Let me tell you. Basically, any Lilith Fair era female singer-songwriter, I'm fucking in on. That's like my shit.
All right, you get extra credit for that.
That's why he moved to California to soak up the sun, isn't it?
Really?
He's only had one to have a little fun before he died. He met this guy named William, but he sure was Billy or Mac or Buddy. All right.
Is Lilith Fair like...
Shut up. I am not done.
I don't care.
Just to make sure I have cred here, I don't actually think Sheryl Crow played Lilith Fair ever. So.
Yeah, but all those bras are the same. We know what you're saying. Dude. I got you, man.
Is that like Kate
All
Bush,
those
Fiona
dames.
Apple or some shit?
Fiona Apple would have played. I don't think that Kate Bush ever would
She
have.
probably predated
It's
it.
more like Melissa
Alanis Morissette.
Etheridge, Jewel, Alanis. Yeah,
No,
that
Melissa
kind of
Etheridge
stuff.
is way too old for Lilith Fair, too.
Oh, absolutely not. She did it solo, 100%. Both fairs. Check it out.
Any trivia?
She probably headlined.
It was post 10,000 Maniacs, so it makes sense. Yeah.
Wait, Melissa Etheridge was
Oh, no,
in
yeah,
10,000
that's sorry.
Maniacs?
That's what's her name? She's another Lilith Fair one too.
Natalie Merchant.
No, Merchant. That's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting them. See, now I lost the credit
Fucking
that I asked
Christ.
for back.
All right, here's your last question, all right? Finish the E-Town Concrete lyric.
I'm probably gonna fail.
If the shoe fits.
I'm sorry, man. I don't have it.
The correct answer was put a sock in it. Wow. You only got 2 wrong out of 11, but you got a lot of extra credit there. So, dude, that was a fucking slam dunk, dude. You are a fucking sensation.
I'm a big like E-Town fan, but I'm not
No one
like
is.
I'm not like a lyric person. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't.
I'm not either.
Right.
I'm a
Yeah.
riff guy.
Yeah.
You just like that one word they use a lot, right? The one from the Rolling Stone article.
Yeah, I like how people like the regular citizens just discovered that now all of a sudden. They're
Yeah,
oh,
like
shit.
I can't believe like a yo boy from 1994 used that word in 1995.
Right.
It's like, oh, that's a shocking news.
Clearly, you've never been to Elizabeth, New Jersey in your life.
God, apparently never been to the East Coast. Like, Jesus Christ. I was thinking about, the N word in music. Do you think white power dudes are so fucking mad all the time because all their bands stink?
I can't think of a good one, so that's
Exactly.
I think that's one of many reasons.
I mean, and mostly because one of the main reasons is the fact is they mostly tend to lean to black metal or oi music, which we can all agree are both terrible genres. But do you think it would help their disposition if they could actually find like 5 Aryan brothers that could actually write a decent tune?
No, I don't think that would help.
They would still be just as miserable.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Because I remember I watched a documentary about white power music, and this band, the Angry Aryans, came up, and like the first couple verses, I was like, yo, this is actually kind of gnarly. Sounds like some sheer terror shit, but the drumming was just completely awful and off time and shit. I'm like, do you think it's just because they have to? There's so few white power people in their town that they got to settle for the only drummer in town or the only guitar player in town, and that's why it always does sound like butt rock or.
I know I'm supposed to like yes and stuff, but like I think that there's actually plenty of like white power dudes in hardcore. Honestly, they probably could form a feasible band, but it's just the fact that
I haven't
people
seen
are
one
fucking
yet.
miserable. So
Like, dude, I know there's definitely some fucking not so closeted white power dudes involved in hardcore punk, but their bands stink.
yeah, fair.
So, like, if you told me, like, I don't know, I can't think of any good hardcore bands. that's just bad. Because I don't want to fucking be Smurfs the bands.
Yeah, exactly. You've rode us into dangerous waters.
Like, fuck me. Yeah. Like, if somebody told me, like, the first, like, 3 Sick of It All LPs were written by white power dudes, like, I'd be fucking shocked. You know? But, yeah, I just think that maybe they would cheer up a little bit if, like, they just had, like, even if it wasn't just, like, a hardcore band or a metal band, if they had, like, a good pop-punk band.
I'm sure there's probably actually plenty of white power pop punk bands out there too. You just don't know about it.
Oh, dude.
I'd like to.
Like,
just out of sheer curiosity.
Oh, God, just like
that's the next step after you molest enough underage girls, you become a white power pop punk band. That's like how it goes.
That's true.
Now that Warped Tour is over, who knows?
Well, you figure all the fucking old punk rockers now are pretty fucking dicey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you got to figure, like, should we give them leeway because they're 60?
No.
And they're just behaving like most other 60-year-olds you know?
I know plenty of 60-year-olds who are just regular.
Yeah, you would think that like 60-year-olds would have like evolved because like that's how 60-year-olds acted like when I was younger.
Yeah.
And like, but I guess it's just a thing.
And I always wonder, like, since like hardcore is such like a young musical genre compared to most other ones, maybe like this is the first generation to get old.
Huh.
I was as soon as you said that, I started thinking because I think this is like the oldest that hardcore's ever been, like on a median.
Well, you figure however old Ian MacKaye is or someone like that.
Most of the old bands have come back around, and there's like a lack of new. Like there's, don't get me wrong, there's plenty of like good new bands. I'm not being that guy that does like hardcore stinks now or whatever. But there's just like less young people in bands. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And almost all of those younger bands have like somebody who's like a seasoned pro at best, or like an actual old head,
or an old head that's like doing their booking for them and shit like that.
Yeah. So it's a kind of a weird thing where, yes, it is like inherently a young genre, but it like kind of isn't right now. So it's kind of weird to.
It's weird because right now, a lot of the younger people involved don't want to pay attention to the old heads, and all the old heads are too curmudgeon-y to like give any credit to the young bands. And it's like, great. So this is going to get everybody fucking nowhere. But I don't know. It's just. I think this is like the first time like this genre has been able to turn old, and it's like old people say some fucked up shit. But you figure if you spent most of your life, I get it if it's a person that did a band and say they did a band in the late 80s, and then they didn't do fuck else.
Yeah.
Except whenever that band would get together every 10 years or whatever. That I'm like, all right, yeah, of course he became a fucking complete fucking nut job. But when it's somebody that was constantly in bands, constantly playing shows in different bands or the same band over, that's when you're like, really? Like you grew up, you got old doing this, and this is what you're up to now? Like,
I think I gotta give our mutual friend Max Davis credit for this.
No, I love him.
But like we've had this talk before, and it's like I think like hardcore and punk is more of like a microcosm of real life than people think it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I think that there are more people that are like secretly like weirdos and right wingers than you would expect in hardcore and punk. And I think it's like it seems like something that veers left and like with more like open ideas and more progressive, but it like kind of isn't really. You know what I mean?
I mean
that is a very valid point.
Like because you figure if like John Joseph was like just some dude who worked at a bank. Like, no one would give a fuck what he had to say then, now, going forward, whatever. But because he was in a successful band for a while, people are all like, oh, I want to see what he's up to now. Then all of a sudden you're like, about face. Whereas everybody else, we kind of like, oh, they are there, but they don't have a platform. And do you have any records in your collection that you should throw away and you just won't?
Yeah, I have a couple for sure.
Like?
One's a local band. I'll just say it's Hell to Pay. I have that LP. That LP is good. That dude is definitely not cool. But
Only dude I knew that band was
absolutely not.
Only dude I knew that band was Aaron. I don't know the other people.
Yeah, there's some shit with the singer of that band that's pretty fucked up. Like I said, I don't know that guy personally, but like that record's cool. It's written by talented musicians, but hard to listen to considering that. So,
well, just try and think about Aaron and Keith. Their drummer Keith.
Yeah.
Fucking, he's a good egg.
Yeah.
So, I find it hard to fucking listen to that shit anymore. Like, if a band comes out, even if it's a band I fucking was, like, all about, I can about face on that shit. And it's weird. I didn't think I could do that. Like, me and Tom were talking about Kanye, about how I love it when people have those kinds of meltdowns, because then you get to see the diehard fans go through their head to try to find a way to justify it.
Right.
And now it's like, it happens in punk rock, too.
Mm-hmm. The gymnastics come out.
That's why the ones I think of are generally like local bands for that exact reason, where it's like there's a couple people who were in the band that were like, fuck this dude, but they're still like talented musicians that I know as a friend, and it's like, well, like, I don't know. It's tough to just completely get rid of the value of it because of that, but I don't know. I don't know what the right thing is in that situation.
The only one I kept in my collection was my 25 to Life collection. And my justification was I kept all the records before he went nuts.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, he went nuts, but he never went nuts and then made records of the nuttiness. It was kind of just dead right there. Like, it didn't continue on afterwards that we know of.
Yeah, and a lot of it's like where you draw the line too. Like, if like I don't know, like Dave Mustaine fucking sucks, but like Megadeth's like one of my favorite bands. So that's like
but he's also never done anything like criminal or overtly psychopathic.
Right, I didn't say that. I just said he sucks.
He's just a cunt. Yeah.
So I don't know.
Like, that's just, if a guy's an asshole, he's an asshole. But like, I'm talking about like if someone's like comes out as like white power, or they're fucking beating the shit out of their wife and kids and shit.
Can't say I have anything like that.
Like, I had to ditch my fucking Neurosis albums.
Yeah, that shit was crazy.
That was a fucking
What happened in Neurosis?
Their one guitar player came out and made outed himself at this big public post about how he was mentally abusive to his wife and kids and physically abusive to his wife and kids. And the rest of his band said, nah, fuck him. He's just doing this to get out in front of it and pivot and try to get pity out of him being a piece of shit.
Huh.
And then the band broke up.
Yeah.
That's a fucking shame.
Yeah.
Tough, man. Times of Grace is
God
like one of the best records ever
God
made.
damn
and
it.
it's
I was talking about
their whole discography is just fucking untouchable.
Enemy of the Sun. I love that shit.
God damn it. And it's just like, motherfucker. But
it's tough, man. It's like that shit means something, but like, how do you really listen to it again?
And it's not like
that,
like when the guy, like, the band breaks up and then the dude starts spouting racist shit or beating someone or whatever. You're like, all right, well, maybe he wasn't a nut job back then, but he was like admitting to like being a shithead during recording processes of some of the albums. You're like, fuck.
Yeah.
It's like, God damn it.
Well, I mean, like, the big one, I think, for a lot of people my age is like Pantera, right? like if you want to, like, if you hate Pantera, that's fine. But like, Pantera was like one of my introductions to like fucking.
Yeah, there were a lot of people.
Sadly, a lot of people. Yeah.
Yeah, and
but
just, like,
the smart thing was, okay, I found out other heavy music. Now let's go on to something better.
Yeah, but it's not like I mean, like, I'm a liar if I said that when like Far Beyond Driven comes on, I don't get a little hype. But like, at the same time, it's like you start thinking about it, and then it's like not only is Phil obviously a piece of shit, but like the rest of those guys are pretty obviously racist too. I'm just gonna put that out there. You know, what
even
I mean?
if they weren't, it's like. You mean to tell me all these years you knew he was a piece of shit and you kind of still just like kept it going?
Yeah.
Was the money that good?
Right.
Honestly, the money probably
was great, actually.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, he was playing, like, I fucking love Dimebag Darrell, but dude was playing Confederate flag guitars for a pretty long time, you know what I mean?
Like, the dude was Slayer with SS bolts on his guitar.
Oh my God.
But it's like, yeah, I can see, like, if you're a band like Pantera that was making money, like, we can live off this and live well money. But when it's like, you keep it going and you're just like you're playing at like 5 p.m. on a fest hardcore band, and you like your singers are racist, and the rest of the guys are just like zip it. That's different.
It's rough, yeah, for sure.
It's like, dude, you're keeping your mouth shut for that whopping $500 you might get for playing a show.
Yeah, I mean, it's rough no matter what, honestly, even for real money.
Yeah,
I'm a man of principle. You know
yeah, I try to be, because I definitely wasn't in my younger years. Let's get into something a little more fucking lighthearted and silly. We have a new segment. Are you familiar, John, with imdb.com?
I am, yeah.
All right. Are you familiar with a new thing called, it's not really new. It's called IAFD.com.
I'm not.
It is the Internet Adult Film Database.
Okay.
And it is the IMDb for pornography.
Okay. So
we have this new segment. It's called How Do They Party? Okay?
Okay.
And Tom's going to put a picture up in the video and post. This is today's subject. This man here, you see him?
Yes, I see him.
That man's name is Dick Tracy. Okay? Now, going by how this is Dick Tracy, let's get a little performer, aka also known as Damian Steele.
Okay.
Dan Hawk, Dick Tracy, Tricky Dicky Tracy, Michael Dick Tracy, Mike Gruby, and Mike Hawk. You know, Mike Hawk, you get it? A wink. Now, how does he party? And by that, I mean gay porn, straight porn, both.
Definitely gay.
First off, he looks disturbingly like Kevin Nash, just at first look for some reason. But I'm going to go gay.
You are both very wrong.
With a facial hair like that?
My boy Dick Tracy is a motherfucking renaissance man. He did both. All right, let's see what he's got.
Good for him, honestly.
Let's go over some of the highlights of his career, okay? We'll go for his just straight porn. You know, maintenance girls, maid service, you know, good shit. But then you get to 2002's Lumberjack Gangbang, you know? And Lords of the Ring. And Lollipop Babies 1 and 2. And then we also have Nasty Hard Sex 1 and 3. I don't know why he got left out of 2.
Hey,
I don't know what he did.
scheduling conflict probably.
Yeah.
And this is probably one of the weakest titlings of a movie film. I don't call them movies; they're films.
Especially during that time period, yeah.
A cinephile like me and John Martell would know this. This is just lazy titling.
Go on.
My gay roommate fucked me. I mean,
It's a bit on the nose.
give me a little innuendo here. You know what I mean? Give me a little mystery.
I don't
to my
know.
fucking movie.
Sometimes I like to know exactly what I'm in for.
Sounds like
hear
it was
you.
in his endo.
Now, then we get into then there's this one. It's even more on the nose. Ream his straight throat, number 8.
Okay.
Right?
Like I said, sometimes I like the transparency.
And then there's Rectal Rooter 9.
That's great.
And this is my favorite one of his whole career. And he actually did gay in this one. Rena gets plastered with stranger cock juice and also gets money. Money spelled with $signs.
Also gets a $sign.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Does cinematic style porn still exist? Like, are there still like I know
Yeah,
some
but it's all the
clips
same
have them.
shit. Step, bro. Our parents will be home any second. It's all the same
Right.
shit.
I know that, but I'm saying are there still
No,
plotted movies?
Not like the 70s and 80s when people were actually trying to make movies with fucking in it. Now
It strikes me as more of just like a collection of scenes.
Now, top or bottom? How does he party?
Oh, okay.
Which one?
Top.
If he does both, I'm gonna guess top, just based on
And that'd be correct. And the final way of how does he party? Does he party on the mortal coil or is he deceased?
Ooh.
He's got to be in the shadow realm.
You think he's in the shadow realm, do you?
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna give a hopeful answer because he seems like a nice guy, and I hope he's.
I'm sure he is, but an early October morning, October 16th to be specific. So it's
Oh, it's coming up.
yeah, dude.
Poor guy.
Santa Rosa police responded to a call at an apartment complex where his real name is Augustin.
You're right. I'm sorry. It is November. It's not October anymore.
Where Augustin, naked in a back room, would die within an hour. He was alleged to have held hostage a man and threatened another. Augustin went unconscious during the struggle with police, who restrained him with handcuffs and a maximum restraint cord. According to Santa Rosa Sheriff Dennis O'Leary, made up name if I ever fucking heard one, right? Paramedics were called to the scenes and restraints were removed, but Augustin was pronounced dead 30 minutes later.
Huh.
So he is quite fucking dead. They found tons, and I mean tons, of methamphetamines in his system.
There's a lot to unpack there.
So, my man, Dick Tracy, is with the Angels now.
All right. Apparently, I'm a pretty poor judge of character.
Yeah.
That's what I just learned right now.
Yeah,
The segment has shocked me 2 weeks in a row.
I know,
so-
dude.
Yeah.
It's a fucking guessing game, and honestly,
It's fun.
It is a fun fucking wormhole to go down.
IFD.
I found out about it, and I looked up, the first time I found out about it, I looked up the first porn I ever jerked off to, which was Debbie Does Dallas 2. And I was just saying, I wonder if these people are, still around. Like, what are they? Because if they're, like, an old porn star, it'll show what they look like now, too.
Yeah.
But most of the people in the movie were fucking dead. And they have, like, a whole thing. It's like an in memoriam section.
Yeah.
Called, get this fucking clever name they came up with for their in memoriam section. Dead porn stars. All right? Fucking branding.
I think there's probably a lot of
branding, dude.
There's probably a lot of parallels between wrestling and porn that I didn't really think of until right now. But just the the lifestyle and the age range where people pass away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Lots of methamphetamines and shit like that.
Yeah.
A lot of the people in the dead list, the reasons they died were head injuries from a fall or car accidents.
Huh.
Sounds a lot like wrestling.
That's what I'm saying.
Like there was not as much age as you would think.
Or drugs.
So it just gives more credence to the fact that AIDS probably didn't exist.
Like that wasn't Dick Tracy wasn't quite like a Chris Benoit level thing, but I'm just saying there's some there's some things going on.
I'm telling you, man, it's a sad story, man.
Yeah.
And like, it's funny as shit. Like you can tell like which dudes were gay for pay, which is a term you don't know. They only did gay porn because it paid more. Because they're always just strictly tops. The ones that were fucking in it for the love of the games were top and bottom.
Okay. Yeah, that tracks.
You know, those are the real Renaissance men. The real men, dude. So, yeah, that's a wormhole. Dude, if you're an avid watcher of pornography like me, it's fun to find out which of your favorite porn stars are still living or dead. It's fucking great, dude. Because, like, you figure, like, porn movies don't even have, like, real titles anymore.
No. That's just, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm trying to think of the last thing that was like.
It's just scenes. It's not like full.
Yeah, not movies.
The last thing I could think of that was like a movie was like the Pirates ones, right? Like that was like the 2000s. You know what I mean?
There was a Justice League one that I actually watched, and surprisingly didn't jerk off to, which is weird for me. But I was just like, let's see me fake.
Like I said, I'm a silly guy, and I like the parody stuff, and like I feel like that whole genre is just dead. R.I.P. Man. I
loved I grew up like my dad had a fucking stash. Like his stash was ridiculous of pornography. Like that we had like this hutch in my den downstairs. We still have it actually, but he had actually like scooped out like the top shelf of it and made it like so like you couldn't see. So it like there's where he thought the shelf was, which is the very top shelf. When I was a little kid, I couldn't reach. But it's actually deeper on top behind this little ledge where he would have this perfectly level stack 2 tapes high, but all across his long bookshelf that took up almost a whole wall of the house. And when I was old enough, you know, I saw something peeking out of there once because I was older, getting taller. And I was like, what is that? And then like I got a chair, got up and I looked and I was fucking done. But I used to love fucking just like the pornography. Like you're just like, the dude who made this movie, who shot this movie, he's trying. Like you can tell this dude wants to make real movies. Like he's got like fucking like crazy like camera angles, you know. He's got like sets. He's got fucking a wardrobe person. It's not just some girl getting glucked on a fucking couch.
Jesus Christ.
I'd be curious to see where those people end up.
It's like you can tell there's just like dudes with their birds out going, so what's my motivation? You know, just it's fucking wonderful. And it's not there anymore. So
I'm imagining you like finding that stash and your voice dropping down 2 octaves.
Oh,
like it's
did.
the fucking Grinch's heart when he fucking.
It fucking did. My balls and my voice all at the same time. I'm lucky the weight that dropped my balls and made me fall off that chair. But god damn it. My dick was raw for a solid year and a half. Until I found out you could fucking use things like spit and lotion. My first year and a half, I was a dry rub, dude. I was a dry rub.
Understandable. You didn't know better.
I didn't know any better, dude. No, I didn't know any better until I fucking walked in on my dad jerking off.
You gotta walk. You gotta walk before you can run.
Because for some reason he's like never closed his fucking bedroom door. So I've walked in on my dad jerking off more times than I can count on 2 hands.
This all fucking explains a lot. It all makes sense.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And like this happened as late as I was probably 24, 25. And I'm like, dude, why don't you fucking close the door when you do this shit? Like, you know I'm in the house. He's like, well, when I was in the Navy, we weren't allowed to have closed doors. I was like, dude, at the time, he was like in his late 60s. I'm like, you're in your late 60s. You're in the Navy for 4 fucking years. That's no excuse. And you didn't start jerking off in the Navy. You started jerking off at home before you even were old enough to enlist. So I don't want to hear that shit. So yeah.
Yeah, I got a lot of military connections in my family, and I'll tell you, my grandpa has never once jerked off in front of me. So I got
yeah. You know why? Because he's probably a classy dude.
Got a good head on his shoulders.
Oh, dude. Yeah. My dad stinks. He wears a Vietnam veteran hat, right?
Man.
You know what I'm talking about? Those hats that the war veterans wear?
Sure do.
There's nothing wrong with that, right? But here's the thing. My dad, during Vietnam, you know where he was? The Mediterranean.
Nice.
You know what he did there? He was an electrician on an aircraft carrier, but you know what he did when he went ashore? He sold American cigarettes to foreigners for money.
I respect the hustle.
So while other people's pappies and grandpappies and whatever were getting fucking the shit blown out of them in a jungle, my dad was the Marlboro Man of Malta. And just fucking... And then he's got the fucking balls to wear...
Sounds like a boxing
to wear
nickname.
the fucking hat. I just hope he fucking runs across like some dude that he was on the boat with and just like...
Right.
Yo, dude.
It's apocalypse now, but it's like a Caribbean resort.
It's like, do you know what the fuck we were doing in the 60s, man? We weren't killing people. We weren't any fucking rice patties. We were in Greece getting Hummers from hairy chicks over some fucking Pall Malls. It's like, dude, yeah, stolen valor to the highest degree. But, you know, he had a good porn stash, so, you know, I can't really fucking hate him too much. It makes me think, though, as soon as he got home, his more high when he started that fucking sick porn stash. So maybe he became like a fucking lover of the arts while he was stationed offshore in Europe. Damn. Okay. That's why. So that's where he got that class in his porn movies.
You're like fucking Ancestry.com over here, man, figuring it all out.
Ancestry.com. It's none. They're all inbred. Fuck cares.
I don't get people who are really into that. I'm not gonna lie. If you like, if either of you guys are, that's fine. But like,
Nope.
I don't give a shit who like my fucking grandparents are. I don't give a fuck at all.
Like, I pretty much know we're Irish. Like, I know what my last name is. My aunt told me once. But I don't consider myself Irish because I can't go back to Ireland and stay on someone's couch. I don't know anybody there. Like,
It's true.
My grandparents, born here. Their parents, born here. Their parents, born here. Their parents, born here. So we're a few generations deep here. I don't think we count anymore.
Yeah, I'm with you.
We're not Irish trash. We're Wilmington trash.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Yeah, it is what it is. And like people deal with their dogs too. It's like I don't know, it's a dog. That's
They deal with that.
The only thing I'd be curious about is to find out what breed they are, just out of sheer curiosity, but not the rest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like I got a bunch of mutts. They're just cool. You know what I mean? If I tested them, it would just come out cool. So.
Yeah.
I mean, I grew up with Welsh corgis in the house, right? That's what we always had. And none of them were from Wales. They were from Pennsylvania. Right over line and a breeder. That's where they were at. They were all from Pennsylvania, not really Welsh. The two dogs I have now, Norwich Terriers. Are they from Norwich, England? No. They're from fucking Virginia, dude. So yeah, they're fucking posers. My dogs are posers, dude.
I think it's also because my last name's like English and like nobody wants to be British. Nobody wants that shit.
I don't know the ethnicity of Lowe. I just thought it was a direction or some shit like that.
It's got the E at the end. I just assume that just makes it British.
Mine's long and stupid, so you know it was fucking some sort of ethnic, some swarthy horse shit. But yeah, I don't buy into that. Because half the shit you learn from like Ancestry.com, yo, ask your grandparents. Like if you're adopted, okay, I get it, all right? I get it. But yo, you know how much fucking information you can get just by asking your grandparents if they're still alive?
Guarantee you'll regret asking them.
Of course. Because right now they're all dead, so, you know.
Yeah, I don't have any left.
Yeah, you know, I can't go fucking just shove my head in the dirt. It's like, yeah, yo, Ernie.
Shit. I didn't even mean it like that, but fuck. All right.
So, yo, Ernie, where's your dad from, you know? It's like he's from Pennsylvania. You know that's stupid. Now get out of the dirt. But, yeah.
It's Halloween. Go do something better. What are you doing?
This isn't spoopy at all.
Go get some candy.
Yeah, but it's like, and once you have that information, like, all right, my ancestors from England. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, go overseas, go to England, and just like stop random people on the street, like, yo, my great aunt's from here, and they're like, all right, whatever, fuck off. No one here cares.
Go back to America.
You're like, yeah, just go back there.
Go back and eat your seasoned food.
Yeah, exactly. Go back there with your salt and your butter. You fucking hoity-toity little son of a bitch. God save the queen. Oh, what do we got? Is it time for homework, dude?
Yeah.
We do a thing here called homework. Have you familiar with the homework segment?
No. Why don't you spell it out for me?
Every week, Tom and I recommend a comedy special and a record for the other to listen to and for everybody else, all 6 people listen to this to listen to. And then the next week we talk about it.
Okay.
What we thought of it. So, what the fuck record did you give me last week? Oh, No Tolerance. I downloaded the LP illegally. Thank you, Soulseek. And
You Walk Alone.
You Walk Alone. Yeah, I know it was something really that stood out and didn't sound like 30,000 other bands' LP title. But it was ridiculously good. It was just good, fast hardcore, but just super, super angry and not an unpolished. And I fucking loved it. And it was a perfect length for an LP. It was like 18 minutes, 15 songs.
That's good.
I was like, this fucking rules. I had the 7-inch already.
Yeah, I almost recommended him the 7-inch, and he was like, "Dummy,
I got it.
I have that."
But I didn't even know the LP existed. I thought they were one of those
Most
bands
people don't.
that had a 6-7-inch, and then you never hear from them again. So it was cool to actually find out there was an LP, and I fucking liked it a lot. I thought it was great. The comedy you recommended me was a comedian named Kiri Shabazz, and you're like, "Oh yeah, dude, he's got like this 40-minute special, dude." I was like, "Yeah, you know how long that special was? 11 minutes."
Oh man,
you fucking zero. But it was fucking a great 11 minutes bit.
God damn, is he funny?
Like the autism bit was fucking fantastic.
Yeah, autism is actually a superpower.
Yeah.
God damn, that bit is good.
I've seen that on that clip on the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is fucking fantastic. And I rewatched his set from that show, The Ringers, and it was good too.
His deadpan delivery really sells it too.
Yeah, I think I like him too because he's fat and, you know.
Kindred spirits.
We support our own, yeah. Us oatmeal.
Someone's got to support you.
You're a real fucking cut up, dude. Oh, man. Just a couple rascals over here chopping it up, dude. So, did you do your homework, Thomas?
I did the musical homework about 4 times. The record you gave me was...
I don't even remember.
It was The Swarm.
Ah.
And the record is called Parasitic Skies.
Yep.
I listened to it about 4 times in the period of like 2 days. I love it.
It's not that long.
I know. I just listened to it a bunch of times.
John's the only person who got one.
Thank
you.
Any of the bad jokes
Thank you.
I'll laugh at.
Thank you.
No, it was so far it's my favorite homework assignment I've had.
Yeah.
It started off immediately with chaos, and
Yeah.
it's really well done and fast, and I loved it. The singer's voice is perfect for that record. Also, it like sits like in that chaotic mix very well, but I can still understand it kind of.
He's a fucking legend.
Yeah, he's a fucking great live frontman too.
Nice. My favorite song was "Upside Your Head,"
It's a great fucking song.
and then the song "Plague" is good. And they do like the fast, chaotic parts of like Converge that I love, but they don't sound like them at all.
Yeah.
It's just really
It's more
great.
it's a little more focused than Converge gets.
Yeah, it's chaotic, but it is focused. It's a good word.
Are you a fan of the Swarm there, John?
I like the Swarm. I don't know if it's my favorite of his bands necessarily, but I want to say probably Curse 2 is probably my favorite.
Curse is fucking great.
Yeah. That dude's in a lot of good bands.
I hate.
I mean, obviously, Left 4 Dead's the shit too.
I hate dudes like that just don't have a stinker in their repertoire.
I know.
It's like I'm so fucking jealous of that shit.
I know.
Like doesn't have like a cross check in his closet or a dead and buried in his fucking hat. You know, it's like Jesus Christ.
What's the one more like rockin' band that he did after Cursed and
Oh,
before?
fucking 78 Days or something like that.
Yeah, I mean that's not what I'm thinking of.
He definitely had one of those bands. Someone say they were like a early Trustkill band.
I don't know. It's between that and what's the grindy band that he does now? The fucking vegan one. Sect.
Sect. Sect is fucking awesome.
Oh, he's in Sect too?
Yeah, he's the frontman for Sect.
Damn.
Yeah,
Another
like-
great band.
Yeah.
It's like him and a couple of dudes from Earth Crisis and a dude from Undying.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And they're fucking. We played Iron Price played one of our early shows with Sect and a couple others, and they're fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yep.
I want to say 10th and Hammer played with them in Underground Arts. And I definitely had one of those like Chris Farley show moments when I talked to Chris.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
Do you remember when you did this?
That was awesome.
And they're his band, so he's probably like, yeah.
Yeah, I do
it's
fucking
cool.
remember that. You fucking piece of shit. So you didn't do your comedy homework?
Well, I know who Phil Hanley is already,
So-
but I haven't sat with his special yet. I was distracted by that Bobby Kelly special.
Oh, okay.
Now,
okay.
now that is not to take away from Phil Hanley. He's fucking hilarious, and he's really active with putting clips online now.
Yeah.
So I feel like I see him a lot already, but I will sit with his special because I
Other
want to
than
see it in
just
long form.
recently, the clips that he posts and the special, there's very little overlap.
I love that.
So like you're not seeing the whole special just by watching his clips. Like it's mostly new shit.
Good.
But what do you? So John, I don't know if you're a stand-up fan or not.
Like I am, but I'm not like I'm not too deep into it. You know what I mean? And I definitely have fallen off over the past however long.
are 2 records that you've heard lately? Now, the caveat is, don't fucking use your friends' bands. Mm-hmm. Don't do that shit. Mm-hmm. What 2 bands have 2 records have you heard in the past couple months that have just caught you off guard with how fucking good they are that you would recommend to me in Dead Balls?
Well, I wouldn't say that this one caught me off guard, but the new Sumerlands record is my favorite record of the year by like a lot. That record fucking rules. If you're into any kind of like Judas Priesty or any of the new wave of heavy metal records, like it's so good. And it's the singer from Rival Mob and what's the Black Sabbath band that he does too? Drawing a blank.
Stone Dagger.
Magic Circle.
Magic Circle is more doomy. I've seen that band before. Yeah.
I do like Circles. But I don't like Judas Priest. So as a Circle,
Judas Priest is literally my favorite band. So that's very disappointing.
Now, as a Circle enthusiast, would you recommend this band to me? Now, here's another thing, because like when you recommend records, even if it's something we don't like, we make a point to listen to it anyway, to give it a fair shake.
Yeah.
I recommend it to everybody.
Okay.
If you like music,
later on, text me the titles of these records. So
I thought Sumerlands had a different singer, not the guy from Rival Mob.
Yeah, they originally had a different singer, and they picked him up.
Okay.
I want to say I saw him in Underground Arts last year, and I didn't realize that he was singing for him now. And like that guy has a great voice. Just fucking blew my mind.
Talk about a guy with no stinkers.
Right, that's another one for sure.
Fuck me.
Really, him and like DFJ and that whole group of dudes is just like pretty much batting 1,000 up there. But
if they could just keep a band together longer than fucking one record, that'd be great.
But that's kind of like the appeal of it, though. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's fair.
Well, a record in a 7-inch, pretty amazing. Actually, I did find the No Tolerance demo too online, and that
also good.
That smokes ciggies too. And what other record?
Oh man, I have not been listening to a lot of music.
It doesn't have to. It doesn't have to be new.
Okay. Let's see what I've been digging on lately. I've been listening to like Turnstile and a lot of like shit like that, I guess.
Here he goes.
That's a bad recommendation because you're already shaking your head at that. So I would say that I really got into Chubby and the Gang over the past couple of years. Both their recent records are banging. So. Particularly the Mutt's Nuts. That's the one came out last year. That record kicks ass.
Fuck with that title, I tell you that much. But a couple other people I know whose actually musical tastes I trust actually are posted about that band too, and I just haven't gotten around to it.
Like I know you said you don't really like Oi. It definitely has some Oi influence to it. It's probably more in that like.
Does it have whoa whoa whoa? I'm going down to the bar shit in it.
Not like borderline that, but not really. I guess is the best way I can put it. Yeah.
Well, like I said, I have to give it a shot. Like that's the rule I set for. Thing is like you got to give it a shot.
Yeah. Otherwise, like just I don't know. I started listening to a lot of death metal to learn how to play guitar faster for fucking Cancer Priest. So I don't know.
Yeah, we really should have talked about the band we're in together, but I don't want to be fucking corny.
You talk about Rich enough like for the world.
His name is the Outlaw.
Yes, right? Rich the Outlaw with this extremely large sexual calves.
Oh, dude, that
very meaty.
He's not even like really a person as much as he is just a concept.
Did you know that he not only can dunk, but he can dunk himself through a basketball hoop? Like that's how high he can jump with those calves.
Do you notice I didn't question that at all?
He didn't even react. He was
I was
just
like, that sound classic Outlaw. You know, fuck, dude. He got me on a fucking. He almost made me piss at myself after last Cancer Priest practice, which was that like 6 months ago. But we were on the way home and we were talking about Megadeth actually because we're listening to the newest Megadeth record, and we were talking about when Dave Ellefson, the bass player, was just sending jerk off vids to people, and we were breaking down what the conversation would have been like between Mustaine and Ellefson, and Rich just goes, "Listen, Dave, I saw the videos. I'm mega disappointed in you."
Oh my god!
And which is seriously like it's not the greatest joke, but it caught me at the right time, at the exact right time that I fucking just lost my shit.
That might be the greatest joke.
Oh my god! And then we just started going into it. Just like everything was like, look, you gotta mega don't do that again. All right. They don't want to see your mega dick mega dangling. You know, anywhere with a D had a mega in front of it. And then we started adding in the Mustaine voice to it, and it was like, I'm mega disappointed in you. And you're just like, oh, fuck. And he just kept going and going, and I was like fucking borderline pissing myself. But yeah, he's a fucking.
Listen, man, you're really hanging on to this band with the skin of your teeth.
Oh, I really am too. I'm holding together with fucking spit and
if you keep doing that shit, you're gonna rust in peace.
Oh,
all right,
God
buddy.
Damn it! And he'll go start 6 new bands. So Sumerlands and Chubby in the gang.
Yeah, that's a
what do you
pretty good
got?
description.
What do I got? Well, I haven't been listening to a lot of comedy lately. So I didn't have anything comedy-wise to bring to the table, so I'm bringing 2 records. And these are not new records. These are very old records.
Well, in that case, I'll hang on to Phil Hanley, too.
You still haven't done your Phil Hanley homework, so now you have 2 records on top of that shit. By the way, John, it's called Phil Hanley Ooh La La, and it's available on YouTube, and it's fantastic.
Okay. And it's free.
And, dude, it is right up your fucking alley with, like, the really just quick one-and-done lines and shit. Oh, dude,
yeah, I like silly shit. Like, I like Mitch Hedberg and stuff like that. Like, that's kind of
very silly. He's a Canadian pothead.
Okay.
And it's just like that. There's his delivery right there. But the 2 records I want to talk about are very different from each other, but they're 2 records that in the 90s I couldn't get enough of. The first one is Fury of 5, No Reason to Smile. Now, the 2 records they did after that were not good. But that record sounds like if you got a bunch of yo boys from New Jersey and said, write the best Sepultura record you can write. And they did, and it's fucking fantastic.
Really?
It is heavy, angry, and just balls heavy, dude. It's so fucking good that I just can't get enough. I still listen to that record and get fucking amped to this day.
All right. My relationship with Fury of 5 ended at War with the World.
See, I didn't like the last 2 records, but the demo tapes, they had like a whole bunch of demo tapes.
You mean to tell me you didn't like that music video with the boxing ring?
I hate all music videos. I hate all music videos. Unless Peter Gabriel did it, or that Genesis video where they had the puppets. That was sick.
You know what else is sick and doesn't happen anymore? Those music videos where you'd be watching them and then there's just a random movie clip in it.
Yeah.
Like the Goo Goo Dolls one where it's like Johnny Resnick's looking through like a looking glass and it's just like Meg Ryan on the other side of it for some reason.
Is he fucking spying on Meg Ryan?
You wish, Johnny Resnick.
I wonder if he would still do that with Meg Ryan, how she looks now. Anywho, back to Fury 5. So yeah, if you ever wanted to know what a bunch of, walking chest muscles from New Jersey channeling the Cavalera brothers and Slayer solos would come up with, that's what it is. And it's a fucking fantastic record.
All right.
And so Fury 5, No Reason to Smile is one. And this other one is actually a record by one of my top 5 bands of all time. And the band's called Today's the Day. And the record is called Temple of the Morningstar.
Good name.
It is... Dude, it changed the way I thought about how crazy music could get while still maintaining a structure.
Huh.
Yeah, it's fair.
It is just... I mean, it's just going to sound corny, but that's the type of music that people will listen to before they set fire to a church. Not some fucking goofy symphonic metal.
I'm in.
This. It is... And it's also worth it just for the fucking album cover, which is a pentagram with a bunch of sperm around it.
Yep.
It's fucking... and it's just... one of the heaviest records I've ever heard. And it's, like I said, it's the most chaotic record I've ever heard that still has structure to its songs. And some of the best guitar work I've heard at that point. And all their other records are great too. But that's the one where this is the record that made Converge go from a simple hardcore band into what they are now. Mm-hmm. Like they've even come out and said it, like this record made us want to do what we do now.
Yeah, that's why they did. They recorded "When Forever Comes Crashing" with Steve Austin because of that record.
Yeah, the singer's name's Steve Austin, kind of like Stone Cold, but only cooler.
He has like that magic knack for making people uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying?
Cool.
Like that's kind of like what that band does to me. But I like it. But I'm just saying that record makes me feel a certain way.
Like when people say like a guy in a band's like, oh, he's scary, and they're talking about like because he's tough or he's a hard ass something. That dude's scary because I'm pretty sure he's probably choked a couple hookers to death. Like he's legit just like off and weird.
He's like across the street to walk around him kind of scary?
Yeah.
All right.
He like a couple of the times I've seen them live, will just throw his guitar straight into the crowd. Like at people.
As you do.
And it's funny thing is like he played like PRSs. I'm like, dude, hold on. I'm like, those things are like a couple, like 4 figures. Like, why is he throwing that? And you're like, but yeah, like that dude's damaged somehow. But it's not my favorite of their records, but it was one of the first records of theirs where I was just like, oh, I got to rethink music.
Yeah, he's probably playing SE Cutaways.
The early shit's dope, And the shit after it's dope too, but that one record is just like...
This would be pre-SE, by the way, if we had to be a PRS nerd about it.
I don't know what the fuck that means.
Don't worry, it was a $700 guitar reference that 3 people will laugh at ever.
Well, only 3 people listen to this.
This is us 2 included.
Shout out PRS, the best guitar.
Shout out to the 3 people that listen.
That too.
Yeah. So those are my picks. Today's the Day, Temple of the Morningstar, and Fury 5, No Reason to Smile.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty wide breadth right there.
What were you about to say?
Say, if you aren't familiar with Today's the Day and Steve Austin, he probably recorded some of your least favorite sounding records of this world.
Yeah.
I think Forever Comes is one of might be my favorite Converge record.
I love it, but the original, the remaster sounds great. The original one does not sound
But listen to the Converge records that came before that, like the one LP before that and the 7 inches, and then listen to what they were doing afterwards.
Oh, okay. You'll hear the
and
difference.
You're just like, oh.
I get it.
And they flat out said, yeah, we saw today is the day for... I got a chance to take part in booking a show in Delaware on a tour with Converge, and today is the day. And they actually met up with a tour that was Boy Sets Fire and Brothers Keeper.
That's a weird
very Delaware.
It was at in Girls Inc. in the Atrium. It was pretty gnarly.
Answer this for me. Was Girls Inc. on Main Street or no? Or was it just in the town of Newark?
It's off Main Street.
Okay, I thought so.
Do you know where the... what the fuck? Is that a shop right now?
It still exists. It's just in Wilmington now. Girls Inc., that is.
It used to be across the street from the supermarket right off of Main Street.
Oh, the big shopping center?
Yeah, it was right across the street. It's this giant building. But there's multiple rooms in it.
The library? Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Multiple rooms in it.
I know what you're talking about.
The atrium was a small room with a carpet. And then the ones where I booked later, when I started booking shows on the regular, was the gymnasium.
Okay.
Attached to it. And that sucked because the show turnout-wise was smaller, but the room was bigger.
Yeah, so it looks even smaller.
We rented PA, so it never sounded good. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I apologize if anybody went to those shows.
Most of those people are probably dead.
Yeah, that's true. Percocet killed them, thank God. Like I said, shout out to the Sackler brothers.
This
what do you got for me, dead balls?
This week for you, I've got a podcast that I find hilarious.
Oh God!
Because the one host, like you, like I know you.
You do.
Like
we've met before, I know.
Being like, I'm sure you don't care about the bands that he was in, but Colin Young and the one guitar player of Harm's Way have a podcast about touring. What?
What's it called?
It's called HardLore, Stories from Tour. It's all shit that all 3 of us, being in hardcore bands and traveling for shows, can relate to. But they are legitimately funny. Put your opinions about his bands off to the side and just listen to it as somebody who, like, they talk about shit that we all know about. Like, they speak our language. Like shitty fast food, like sleeping on floors. It all sucks.
Well, I've already hated because fast food is great and sleeping on floors is good for your back.
Well, not all fast food is shitty, but they've ranked how good some fast food is. And, just listen to it. It's not
very some stupid ass like, oh, what's better, Sheetz or Wawa?
No, they don't stoop.
Taco Bell or Del Taco.
They do not stoop to that level. Okay. No, it is. It's highbrow fast food talk.
It's not hacky.
No, not in the least. Thank you for the adjective.
Because honestly, Del Taco would win.
It is not hacky in the least. It's a great show. Very funny.
I think Taco Bell's better than Del Taco. I'm gonna put that out there.
Yeah. I've had Del Taco a total of once, so I redact.
Del Taco is a more diverse menu, but Taco Bell is like classic, and it's like they have a lot of stuff for people that don't eat meat. So
again, I've been there. I just
stuff people don't eat where you don't have to have a 30 substitution add-ons like you had to do with Taco Bell.
Well, I kind of like that about Taco Bell though. You can get anything with beans on it.
I'm fine with it, but it's just like the waiting process. Like when you
sometimes
because as just leaving a band with a vegan in it. Taco Bell should have been a quick thing. Mm-hmm. He would order 2 things, but it would take him 30 minutes to order. And I figured they should just have an option at Taco Bell is yo, I don't eat meat, so they know to substitute in potatoes.
Right.
Like a default setting kind of?
Yeah, exactly.
But all they have at Del Taco is Beyond Meat or Impossible or something like that, and that shit kind of sucks sometimes.
That shit's weird. Yeah. Fake meat is just a weird concept to me.
It is a little off.
It's like, if you don't want to hurt animals, why would you eat like a fake animal? That's weird.
Yeah,
that's like, I don't like to fuck kids, but I do have like sticking my dick in this doll. You know, it's like, it doesn't. Oh, it's weird.
Yeah.
All right, I'll get off that. So what's the name?
HardLore.
HardLore. That's very clever.
So, and we've been doing nothing but heavy music lately. So I'll throw you a softball or a soft band with a girl singer.
Okay, my
that
preference.
I know you like.
My preference.
The band is called Now, and the record is called Saved. It came out in 2018.
So it's not now.
It's not right now. No.
I'm gonna kill myself.
She has a great voice. It's not dream poppy, and it's not rock and roll. It's somewhere in the middle. But it's fucking great. Listen to it.
I will, dude. Well, of course I will. I have to.
Yeah.
It's the rules, dog.
I think you'll like it a lot though, because some of the songs have like a great pace and are poppy,
right?
But some of them are real fucking like slow and depressing.
Oh, I've right on my fucking alley.
So, yeah.
There's something about depressed women. Just fucking makes my ears happy.
In fact, my favorite song on the record is the slowest, like, sad song called Window. It's a good-ass song. So, Now, Saved is your musical homework.
And the last thing for everybody who listens to this horse shit, your homework is to listen to me and John's band, Cancer Priest, and our debut LP, Weaponized Brainstems, available now on every streaming platform. Oh!
We did it.
We did it. We went fucking hour plus without fucking talking about our shitty band. No. Listen to us. We'll probably play a show eventually.
If you've gotten this far, you may as well listen to that too.
Yeah, exactly.
I listened to it, and I liked it.
Huh.
So there.
Yeah.
I'm going to plug listen to the Rock Bottom podcast. It's pretty good stuff.
You better put out a fucking episode.
You got to bring it back first.
Yeah, it'll be back in some way.
And as soon as
we did. By the way, we did another episode like 2 weeks ago. If you didn't listen to it, that's your own fucking fault. So.
Well, none of you promoted it.
That's because it's a secret.
Well, if you're still following the show, like I was, I got the automatic download and I listened to it. Put out more episodes.
Yes.
As a legitimate fan of that show, you should.
And as a legitimate fan of you people. And I do mean you people.
Well, this particular episode has our most special guest of all time on it. The bass player from our
Crevens.
band. Yes.
He actually joined in.
He finally did the show, and he was a good get too.
When does Shitty Will ever gonna get a chance?
It was Shitty Will.
He was on
twice,
before.
Man. As a matter of fact, I would say that the Shitty Will episodes are the best. I just shout out to Shitty Will as a person. I love him to death. He's one of my favorites.
Will is a fucking sweet boy.
He's the best.
He's Shitty Will, but he's a sweet boy. Oh, is there anything else you got coming? You got anything else coming down the pike musically?
Yeah, but not ready to talk about it.
Oh, yeah, so, okay. So when are you going to have me and Dead Bulls on the Rock Bottom pod?
Ooh.
Well, you've been on it already. We have not had Tom on it, so we should, because Tom is probably like one of our top 3 listeners. So
I'm one of the one who carries the podcast here, so you might want to have me included.
Yeah, perhaps.
I'm just kidding.
We could do a crossover.
Or is he?
Or is he? Dun, dun, dun. That's that Shyamalan back again. But
listen, Manite.
Shout out M. Light Thompson down at Rockville Auto.
You're putting Tom to work. As the person that had to edit our podcast, I feel for her. So
that was edited?
Yeah.
Holy shit. I do not want to see what hit the cutting room floor of that.
Yeah, you don't want to know, man. There's some rough stuff in there for sure.
It's probably Slur Central coming out.
I wouldn't say that.
I know exactly what mouth it would come out of, too. It reminds me of Gordon Jerk.
And it sounds like this.
It sounds like this, dude. I'll fucking...
I wouldn't go that far, but there's certainly some stuff that was left behind.
So, definitely make sure you go out and listen to Rock Bottom Speedway. Physical copy available on the fucking coolest little label in Philadelphia, Knife Hits Records.
Yeah, Mike McGinnis is a fucking legend.
He's a fucking great dude, and he's put out a lot of other really awesome shit, and everybody should go check out the discography of the stuff he's puts out.
And he was going to put your band's record out, and
we broke up instantly because we are hacks.
He put out the Drowse 7-inch, actually.
So he is retarded. No, but...
you're under good behavior.
Support... Knife Hits Records, they put out great shit. And also check out Mike's band, Rid of Me, who has some fucking really killer tunes, too. Is that all you got there, Thomas? Hit that fucking intro music, dog.